Hey guys, again, three concepts. Um, Number one, when we are trying to work on a very large product initiative, and if there are multiple streams in which you have divided the product initiatives and you have different teams, this and you're trying to make sure that everyone is working independently and everyone is producing the outcomes that is desired as per the strategy and roadmap. I think this principle is very handy. Try to make sure that all these streams that you have in place, they are um, they are autonomous. They can work on a part of the product which can be independently managed and released. And number two, make sure that they are aligned with overall product strategy and roadmap. And number three, make sure that those teams are accountable for the outcomes that they are supposed to generate. So make sure that those streams are independent or autonomous, they are accountable, and they are aligned. This is very simple way of kind of making sure that how do you really should define the ways of working. Second concept is focusing on input metrics but not on output metrics. Um, and in another way, at a personal level, focus on things which are in control. Don't worry much about things which are not in your control. Now, for example, if you are kind of running a publicly listed company, share prices are like output metrics, and you really can't control it. Share prices are dependent on a lot of market sentiments, but they are also dependent on free cash flows. Free cash flows are dependent on lower cost structure. Lower cost structure comes from economies of scale, operational efficiency, stuff like that. So if you focus on operational efficiency and economies of scale, share prices will also get impacted. But focus on things which you can control. You can't focus on things which you can't control. So for example, when you're trying to let's say build a product which generates $1 million in revenue, what you can really focus on is to make sure that you build something useful for your small group of users and focus on making sure that churn is low, make sure that you are growing the user base at a predictable rate, and you are able to provide them the customer service or user experience that you initially promised. And yeah, just focus on basics of kind of adoption and engagement, and growth will follow. Now, um, the third one is about evaluating startups. That how should you really think about starting startups or evaluating startups. um, I, I think the first one is definitely about significant problem. So the problem that startup or the product is solving, make sure that it is significantly big. And what it really means is that if it is a very kind of infrequent problem, then it should be big enough, it should be rare. And even if it is rare, the value of the transaction should be very high so you can have a sustainable business, or the market size is huge. And in the same vein, if you're solving a frequent problem, make sure that there is a huge volume of or huge or the really the frequency of those problems is high, so you have a very big TAM size, target addressable market size. The second uh, uh, the second important consideration is to make sure that you are also working in a growing market space, and if you can really kind of build a product in a growing market, then it will be really cool. And the third one is make sure that your product is positioned like a extendable brand, so you can offer more product and services on top of it if you wish to. But definitely there are kind of other types of business models as well, and people have been very successful in focusing on one or two use cases and solving that really well. And if that startup has a defensible moat, then it will be really good. Defensible moat can come from maybe some strong partnership with suppliers, maybe some intellectual property. Brand is something which takes a lot of time to build, so there should be some defensible moat um, that startup can have. And and the last but not the most, but the most important one is also the team. So a significant problem with a high addressable market, a growing market. Make sure that there is a bit of a defensibility in the business. If possible, then make sure that it's a extendable brand and good team.